Hi, everybody. This is Leo Gameng recording my marketing final presentation. We're going to go straight over to the PowerPoint and see our positioning project for CustomInk, which would be engaging customers with brick and mortar stores. This is a new thing that some online only companies have been doing to move towards a new market. So looking at our pictures here, we initially think of online shopping as just going online on our computers and our tablets and just buying things off of our shopping carts, our virtual shopping carts, and putting it towards our credit card. Over time, a lot of these online businesses like Amazon and Warby Parker have been moving towards a brick and mortar format. Amazon now has 3 stores, and their concept is what we would hope CustomInk would be in the future on the right. CustomInk, because it's been a primarily online experience, would need to change its mission statement. Looking at the differences between CustomInk and its competitors, we think that the mission statement for CustomInk currently would be, we provide quality products uniquely crafted by you to your specifications. We guarantee that you'll look good, receive your product in a timely manner, and you'll be able to talk to real people when you need help. To reflect the new brick and mortar in-store format, would have to add something to the mission statement to bring that part of the business in. So we would begin by saying, while shopping in store, online, or over the phone, we guarantee that you'll be able to acquire uniquely crafted products made by you, held to the highest quality standards, and delivered in a timely manner. When you need help with our products, real people will be waiting to assist you. With this in mind, we look at the current segment of CustomInk. CustomInk can be said to be in the promotions industry. In the promotions industry, it seems to be that there is about $21.4 billion of sales revenue. However, since there are no major players or a company that has large market share, it's a fairly perfect competitive environment. However, in this promotions industry, we see that a couple drivers are corporate profit, which are the largest buyers of promotional products, with 32% of those products being wearables, or as most consumers like to buy from these companies, t-shirts, and also the world price of cotton. So looking both on both sides of the ball, they're going out for manufacturing and also coming in for their supply chain. And as we have noticed, there are many businesses in this segment, as there are 25,000 businesses with a limited amount of profit of 1.5 billion. In order to grow the business, we feel that CustomInk should move into the brick and mortar, as they're going to be able to capture more market share, market potential by seeing a larger amount of sales. According to the ICSC, which is the International Council of Shopping Centers, we can see that nationwide in the United States in 2013, $4.3 trillion accounted for in-store sales, and 263 billion accounted for online sales. So for CustomInk to get a larger chunk of the pie, they need to widen their market. And by widening their market, they should be able to grow into a billion-dollar company. By looking at this segment, we see, according to the ICSC survey and the information that they have collected, consumers prefer to actually shop in brick and mortar stores. They also spend more money, they spend more time in the store, and on average, they spend more times per average, they purchase more times per average in store versus online. And a big thing that I even have issues with is that I want to be able to touch, try, and see the product, and that's the majority of consumers at 73%. From here, we think about the estimated market potential and market share. So from the US Census Bureau, we can see that there are approximately 321 million people in the United States. 77.1 of these people are over 18. There have been some survey results by JCD Dux, which is a mall and public transportation advertising firm. They're the people who make those ads in your mall directories, in your buses, various different maps. But they see that retail malls get visits from about 94% of adults each month. And they see that 45% of those adults will make purchases. And then according to the ICSC, they would spend approximately $1,710 per month in a brick and mortar store. And we can see that there are 78,791 retail malls across the United States. And we're going to assume that Custom Ink is going to open 3 stores in 3 of these shopping centers or retail malls. So we can see that our market potential would be our total population multiplied by the percentage of US population over 18, or what we'll call in this study adults. We'll see that 94% of those adults, so 0.94, multiply that, and then multiply those by our potential customers who will be ordering from us, which would be 0.45. So our estimated market potential, number of consumers who could potentially make a purchase with Custom Ink, would be 104 million people. With this in mind, we would know that we could get our estimated annual market potential for the revenue. So we can see that we may have visits per month from 104 million adults, multiply that by the average spending purchases in an in-store of 1,710, and then annualize that by 12. And we're looking at an estimated market potential of $2.1 quadrillion. For that market, Custom Ink is only going to have 3 stores. So we're going to multiply those 3 stores by the estimated market potential of 2.1 quadrillion and divide that by the number of retail malls across the United States at 98,791. So we can see that Custom Ink's potential share of that revenue could be $65 million. Now moving on to our objectives, we look at this chart that was made by Deloitte, and we can see that originally shopping to us was found as the traditional brick and mortar store, which is on our left. From there, we would see the continuation of the emergence of e-retailers, which would move over to what they need to sell online. This is where Custom Ink started. However, by being an e-commerce only retailer, and as we notice with the promotionals industry, the promotionals industry is heavily dependent on business revenue. So if corporate profits are down, the first thing in the budget to go usually is marketing budgets, and Custom Ink makes those products that are part of those marketing products. So in order to reduce risk and move towards what they have called that recent move towards multi-channel operations, Custom Ink needs to bring themselves into that brick and mortar to reduce their risk and become more of a consumer company, being accustomed to what consumers need and their smaller ratios of merchandise that they buy. Over time, we would hope that Custom Ink would move towards that omnichannel, which would be bringing in their online, their brick and mortar, their new in-store from this positioning, and then hopefully make ordering concepts for their various different social media aspects or even customer service aspects in social media that they do today. By weaving all of this together, they become a more omnichannel business. However, they need to move towards that multi-channel first to get to that omnichannel. By doing this, CustomInk will be able to become more of a market leader in the promotional industry, hopefully take more market share because of the increased availability of their business and their goods. So we're going to look at the strengths and weaknesses in pursuing in-store brick and mortar concept. When we look at the overall strengths, a lot of it has to do with the people and the physical presence of the store. So first of all, of course, we're going to add a physical presence to the community. People know about the company when they see your signs go up and say, "Hi, we're CustomInk," and they see that you have pride in their neighborhood. And most of the time, local businesses do well because they see that they're in their local environment. The in-store actually also creates another dynamic for customer service. You'll be able to go in the store, talk to somebody about their products, talk about designing their products, and then hopefully being able to pick up, drop, return, do other items that you're really accustomed to doing in store versus via the mail for online. Also, I see that making these in stores would help other customers who are technologically illiterate. Sometimes it's hard for me to just make a design because I can't think it up all the time. Sometimes having people there to help me out, show me what graphics are available, what I can do with my product, may help me become a conversion to a sale. Also, an in-store would help potentially fulfill immediate wants and needs. Sometimes when you feel like when you're shopping, you feel like you go in a store, it's like, I need to buy something. I really need to buy something. So going in the store, ordering something, or hopefully having a screen print in store, they'll be able to make you a shirt that you just really want in a short amount of time, or a day or two turnaround. Depends on how CustomInk wants to position that part of their business, rather because we would not want to cannibalize what we have from the distribution centers. And then most of all, something that the ICSC has touted is that customers want to get the touch and feel of products. This is more of the showcasing method where customers can go in, touch the product, try the product on, see how the product is. And that gives them more confidence to buy the product and could increase sales conversions. However, there are some weaknesses entering the brick and mortar space. We can see that there's a high level investment in order to enter the segment. We need to ensure that the technology is weaved all together between our online and our brick and mortar, because having two different messages confuses customers, and customers like a consistent message and likes to come into a store knowing what they're going to get. There's going to be an investment in people. We're going to need to be able to train people to be in front of customers, not only over the phone, but also in the store, and also house some of our designers in the store, which could happen to get some downtime, which will increase costs. And then finally, the physical brick and mortar store, that build out, that initial cost outlay. Later on, we're going to talk about that cost outlay, as many smaller businesses can see a small investment in making a brick and mortar around 31,000, but I could see CustomInk going upwards of 150,000 to 200,000 for each of the build outs for their own stores, depending on how big the store will be. We can see that there's going to be differing hours versus online. Online is available to you 24/7, 365. You can be at home, whatever you want to do. However, with brick and mortar, we're going to have to limit those hours down to whatever shopping center or mall that we're in. And then the last weakness is the brick and mortar can only serve so many people. It's only going to serve those people in that locale of that store. From there, we're going to we looked at the strengths and weaknesses. We can look at the opportunities and strengths in pursuing brick and mortar. By going after brick and mortar, we would potentially become the market leader in omnichannel retail. We, as indicative of what we looked at in the prior slide, there could potentially be increases in market potential and profit. However, this is assuming, according to the ICSC, that the revenue mix will still primarily be in-store versus online. If that changes to have a higher percentage of revenue collected online, that could endanger the business by being flat-footed and being in a space that people no longer want to use. That's one of our threats. However, we can see that another part of our threats would be a rise in employee costs. Across the United States, many states are passing laws for higher minimum wages, higher than the federal minimum wage. Any rise in minimum wage will raise our variable costs of employees. Also increases in variable costs. Anything that has to do with technology to ensure that the business is one cohesive message, to ensure that the business is actually still all together as one business, not two separate channels, two separate segments. That could be a challenge. And then another threat would be our competitors like Vistaprint or even Discount Mugs or Zazzle could enter the space. And sometimes being the first to market is not the most advantageous thing to do, but at the same token, you should be able to grab as much market share as possible since you're first on the market. From here, as we discussed, I just discussed, we're going to look at our levels of competition. We look at our product forum competition. So we're going to look primarily at getting those brick and mortar promotional products. So we're looking more at that competition being local business shops that make these promotional products, these t-shirts, screen printing in your communities. I live in Albany, and that is the t-shirt source. In Springfield, you have a company called Cheap Tees Screen Printing, or even smaller businesses that I've worked with when working events, and businesses that are very local to the area. Our product category is mainly promotional products. And in this category, we're going to look at the online only. So we're looking at Vistaprint, Discount Mugs, and Zazzle. Our generic competition, that competition that could be competitors but sell the products, are those distributors and those companies that they primarily only sell cheap blank, which means there's no design on the t-shirts, promotional products. And one of those online competitors is Promo Products Direct. However, when we look at our budget competition, with the brick and mortar, we're going to focus mainly on our regular consumer. We're not going to look at business to business sales. Business to business sales could have several different competitors for as a budget competitor because of the competing items that fight on corporates' budgets. But for the consumer market, however, this is a very defined luxury goods space. So there should not be any budget competition for this for CustomInk. Now, thinking about our competitors and looking at what we're going to do in the CustomInk store, product mix should not change. The product mix should remain the same, with most of your items being showcased, with a select few items being able to be made in store, express made for you. So we shouldn't expect to have any cannibalization of the brand. So we're not taking anybody away from CustomInk. We're actually trying to add people. We're not going to be diluting our brand because we're not adding in any generic goods, private labels. We're keeping the brand as it is online in the store, and we shouldn't have any abandonment and show that we're different. We're not abandoning any goods. We're going to be, whatever goods we have in the store should be in online and vice versa. It's just a store is going to be a showcasing method for us to showcase what, or let people touch and feel what the products are so that they have a better, confident, and different customer experience than being online. Moving on, we're going to look at our core and value-added components for this new offering. So the new offering, obviously, is going to be your brick and mortar stores. Within going into your brick and mortar stores, we have several different value-added components that we are going to have when going into those stores. First of all, we're going to have an interactive customer experience. We're going to be able to give you designers and have people help you out make orders on kiosks, give you your orders if you want to ship in store, return your products to help you feel more comfortable returning them rather than mailing them back. Now, with that customer service experience in store, we would think that we would have a smaller operation of screen printing in the store so that we're able to make select products custom for you so that you can have it immediately when you make your design in our store. In addition, a common theme that we've talked about is showcasing. We want to give you the touch, the test, the feel of products. A lot of people think when they go to the mall also is that, it's a fun activity to do. It's something to do. It's something to, run around, take a look at stuff, window shop. And then finally, as we talked about within our customer service experience, the store location could serve as an ordering site, or even as a place where you can pick up or return your products. We take a look at our benefits of the offering after looking at what we had for value added, and we connect this to the hierarchy of benefits. At the top, we have our emotional benefits, which is why people buy. It's a social activity. Going into a store is a social activity. You interact with people, you see people that you know at the store, and also that pride of shopping. When you go to the shopping mall, sometimes when you get them to put your items in that bag, you look at the bag and it says whatever the brand is, and it says like CustomInk, or it says Macy's, or it says Sears. When you walk out with that bag, you have the pride that you bought something from that store, and some people like to show that off. From there, we look at your functional benefits of CustomInk being in store, and that's why we would buy it and what they would buy. And we would talk about the use of your in-store employees, talking with them, designing with them, getting help. And then also the touch, try, feel of the products. Just getting to go in and look at the products, try them on, touch them, see where they're at. And then what they're buying, the product attributes, are customized products, the products that CustomInk offer to you, but instead of being online, being in store. So for pricing, our goal would be to maintain current pricing. In order to have a successful multi-channel and ultimately an omni-channel strategy, we will want to maintain the pricing across the board. We would see that the demand should go up. We should see sales go up, and with stores, according to the surveys we've looked at, should it see a higher conversion rate, which should make for an increase of sales. I estimate the increase of sales conservatively at 10% since we have 3 stores, and each of those 3 stores should make about 3 to 4% more profit for the company. That should be an estimated $11.5 million, as in 2013, CustomInk is a privately held company, which is difficult to get revenue statistics, but the one I could find was in 2013, which pegged them at sales revenues at $111 million. Now, we look at the startup costs of the cost outlays of going into this. The best number I could come up with was $31,000, and that was an article that we found on Inc. magazine. And because CustomInk is a corporate entity, and I would expect them to have a larger space and want to, make a unified CustomInk Inkster, that's the employees of CustomInk Inkster message, that's probably going to be higher, where I would guess that it would be for the 3 stores around $500,000, maybe up to $750,000. So therefore, with these costs, the shops should be self-sustaining. They should be able to sustain themselves over time with the revenue increases that are expected. So the distribution, with this new positioning, we're going to expect to open 3 brick and mortar stores. And in order to capture the local business feel, we would hope that we would leverage locations near distribution. There are distribution centers. CustomInk currently has distribution centers in Dallas, Reno, and Washington, D.C., as you see in the pictures. And we would want those to be the first locations so that people can feel pride in their local communities that this company is in their community and they can come and support it. However, a couple of our challenges are the initial capital outlays. As in the prior slide, I had said that, the initial capital I'm expecting that we're going to be putting out to build these stores out could be in the $500,000 to $750, excuse me, yes, $500,000 to $750,000. And there's no track record for the in-store demand for this industry. Promotional products have been mainly a corporate type of entity. So having regular consumers coming in and targeting those consumers for this type of market hasn't been proven. So this is really going to be a proof of concept. So from there, we're going to talk about our promotional message. So CustomInk has a very defined promotional message. When you look at their videos, you look at their Facebook, you look at their commercials, they hit the home how they're unique. They have this 6-point difference guarantee, or there are differences between their competitors. First of all, they want you to be a design genius. Online and hopefully in-store on the kiosk and with the designers, they'll be able to show you an easy way to make a wonderful looking t-shirt, make it with their proprietary graphic designs and what you can do. From there, they want to make you look great. They have designers checking every design, making sure there's no typos, making sure that the colors look great. And they'll work with you also to help you come up with a design and make it your own. And in store, there's going to be a better human element where you can go in and interact with them. From there, CustomInk says that they give you real people and real service. They empower their people to actually help you. And these people are onshore in the United States. And in the store, absolutely, we're going to be in the United States at first. But it gives you a nice customer service feel, makes you feel like they're a business that you want to do business with. They give you quality threats, which is great products that last. And they have their CustomInk money back guarantee. If anything goes wrong, they will, within 30 days, give you back your money. And then on top of that, free shipping with a guaranteed delivery date. So they will guarantee, we will get this to you at this time. That's big in this space because a lot of other companies, they'll give you a big range, and a lot of times they don't make the range. They don't even guarantee the range. But CustomInk, they will say, if you order from us today, our economy level, which is free, you will receive your product on X day. If you do express or if you do urgent, you're going to receive your product on this day. So it's very consistent messaging that we should carry from our online business to the in-store business. We're going to look at the promotional emphasis. So the promotional emphasis I see is mainly going to be, we're going to be pulling people into the stores. So most of this should be done through the established social media for the end consumer. They're going to see us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. From there, we should look a little bit at our online advertising, be very targeted with online banner ads, pop-up ads, and really hit them home on those IP addresses in our 3 test markets. And then have a small snippet in voice advertising. I say voice advertising, meaning TV and radio ad buys. We would only buy those, not nationally, but in the local markets themselves. So that means Reno, Washington, D.C., and the Dallas areas. In those areas, we will run spots announcing the grand opening, announcing that Custom Ink is in town, and making sure that people know that we're here and we'd like you to come into the store. Now, to execute this message, as we said, we're going to use social media, online advertising, and voice advertising. The goal would be to drive the traffic into the brick and mortar stores. And the appeal is going to be about how we're an Inkster paradise. Inksters are the employees for Custom Ink. And we want to invite you into the stores. We want to make this as caring and as innovative as possible. So the reach would be to those three markets: Reno, Dallas, Washington, D.C. And what we would do is social media, be big on it, heavy hit every few hours, every day, putting stuff up about the store, showing the build out, and then going up to the grand opening, and then tapering off and being light afterward. Making sure people know that the store's there, drive traffic by having various different sales in store and online. The online aspect, mainly targeted banner ads towards those IP addresses in those markets. And then, as we said, the voice ads, the TV and the radio should be all the way up to the lead up into the grand opening to tout, hey, we are in town. We want you to come. Please come experience the Custom Ink experience, not just online, but in our stores. The strategy, though, is what we have right now is a national presence, and it's a very fun appeal. They're mainly on YouTube, showing off their products and showing a couple of the stories about how their products have been used. Facebook has been a great place for people to make their comments, and also Custom Ink to show what they're doing in the local community, what they're doing nationally, what they're doing overall. And Instagram has been a great social media tool for Custom Ink because people are actually sharing their custom t-shirts, products, pictures of them and them wearing them on Instagram. So it allows for the customer to interact and share their experiences. And then before I forget, some companies like New Balance, they have actually made customized Facebook pages for each of their locations. So each of their locations could have a very relatively regional feel. Now, we're going to look at Custom Ink's competitive advantage, and we're going to compare and contrast this between Custom Ink and Vistaprint. Vistaprint is a brand name of a company called Simprint that is out of Waltham, Massachusetts. Custom Ink is in the DC area. And a couple of the things is that we have distinguished is the difference between customer service and pricing. Custom Ink is great with customer service. They're great with quality, and they're great with guaranteed delivery times. You get your product when you want it. All those things are customer feel. That's something that emotional things that customers feel. However, Vistaprint, they want to go for your wallet. They are cheaper, and when you order in bulk, they're even more cheaper. So when you distinguish the two, we see that Vistaprint is our price loss leader. And Custom Ink, they're at a slight premium, but there are so many guarantees that get you what you need in a better environment for you. So you can decide if you want to go cheaper with your wallet, or you want to feel like you got a good product at a good price, more of the total experience. Now, when we look at our positioning for price versus quality, since we're talking about positioning ourselves into the brick and mortar, I don't see any changes to the pricing or the quality of Custom Ink. So as we can see, we compare the pricing for our four major competitors online, which is Zazzle, Vistaprint, Discount Mugs. And we look at their pricing and look at quality. And this quality is based on complaints and reviews that we found on the Better Business Bureau website. As we can see, Custom Ink, Discount Mugs, and Vistaprint hover around the same price. But Zazzle has a very high price, almost double what Vistaprint actually charges their customers. However, when we look at the Better Business Bureau data, we can see that Custom Ink has very few complaints. So their quality is very high. Discount Mugs in the middle. Vistaprint has a few more quality issues, and Zazzle has the highest amount of complaints and the highest amount of quality product issues according to the Better Business Bureau website. So having high prices and low quality at Zazzle is a bit concerning, but the good thing is that the price and the quality of Custom Ink is right there in the middle, making sure that they're high quality but at a middling price. So when we think about brick and mortar, these are the things that brought me to thinking about bringing Custom Ink to brick and mortar. And that's the stories about what we've heard about Amazon going from an online-only business, taking out the brick and mortar bookstores like Borders and Barnes and Noble. And now it's slightly confusing to say you're an online business and you took out all these brick and mortar stores, and now you want to become a brick and mortar store yourself. And that comes to light because of the ICSC data. We think about, okay, people want to actually buy things in store. 73% of people surveyed wanted to touch and try things. 58% of people wanted an easier way to shop. Some of these people are, a lot of our senior citizens are people who don't have computers or people who are not comfortable ordering online. Another 58% of those people, in the same survey, wanted to combine their errands. So if Amazon's near like a supermarket, Amazon's near Macy's, you can bring them all together and actually go into the store. And as we said earlier, it's a fun activity, something for people to do. So seeing Amazon enter the space in Seattle and then now in San Diego, and I don't know where their third store is, and they're planning to make 200 to 300 of these stores nationwide. I can see this as something that Custom Ink could do, because they could have a select number of products that they could sell, like Amazon Book has done. They have chosen specific numbers of books that they can sell, and then they're able to sell what they sell online in the store via kiosks or working with other associates in the store. So I see this concept as Deloitte has said, moving it from brick and mortar to online to a multi-channel to an omni-channel. And it looks like Amazon is making their way towards that omni-channel, and they're going to be a very big competitor in the omni-channel environment very quickly, and will be very hard for other businesses to come up after. So in conclusion, this is what I would imagine a Custom Ink store to look like. Having their t-shirts displayed in one area, having the mugs and other items that they could have in another area, but something very modern, very clean, a little bit more colorful, because Custom Ink is a very colorful type of store. But we want to see our business move forward. And in order to move forward, we need to change with the times and change with what people are asking for. And it looks like what people are asking for are brick and mortar stores combined with our online businesses, and then combining them with our social media environments. So thank you for listening. Here are my references. I have 2 slides of that. And I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation. And thank you so much. And you guys have a great rest of your MBA career and day. Thank you so much.